Hello, everybody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome. Welcome all. Hello. We're back. It's Tuesday, and it is time to play some video games. One video game, specifically. As I say, Kenlin, hello. Thank you for chatting before we got going here today. Everybody else just hanging out. Good to see ya. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Yeah, we're gonna play Final Fantasy IX. That's what we're gonna do. Despite the fact that today I did pick up, with the intention of maybe streaming some of it at some point, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga Collection. It's funny because I got it because I'm like, you know what? I need to play that NES game again. I need a reminder of how awful that NES game was. How difficult, unnecessarily so, that it is. That's what I need in my life. They hide that game, and they should. It's not good. It's not the good reason you would pick up a collection of Ninja Turtles games. It's the bad reason. But it's the reason I'm there. I want to try that, and then I want to go to the arcade game and get reminded of what a good Ninja Turtles game is like. Thank you for asking. I'm feeling pretty good. It's kind of weird. It's been about the same past couple days. It's like not back to good, but not getting worse. It's just sort of been like, okay. And hopefully there will just be a day soon where I wake up and just don't feel like coughing all the time. But we're getting there. We're fighting through it. Hard to tell if I'm fatigued because I'm sick or if I'm fatigued because I'm staying up because I'm not taking cough medicine that knocks me out anymore. Draculis, hello. I like the new About Me section below. Buttons look great. Yeah, we're doing some retheming. Been doing some work in prep of launching some new things with the channel and the YouTube and all that. And I figured let's lean into the Final Fantasy aesthetic. That's what we have going. So might as well. Yeah, I think those buttons look pretty good. It's a good way to do it. And it turns out all the information that was written in the sections was wrong. So it was a good time to redo it anyway. And yeah, it should be good. We're going to put some stuff together probably this weekend. And maybe have an exciting new week with new stuff if it all goes well. I mean, the biggest thing is the willpower. You know, it's one thing to say, oh, imagine the free time I'm going to have. I'll be able to work on this, that, and the other thing. It'll be so good. And then it's another thing when it actually gets there and you don't have those responsibilities nagging you. And you're just like, oh, what if I just didn't ever get out of bed? I have the ability to do that. It's also, it's supposed to be the day that I celebrate my birthday with my parents. But I'm be honest, as much as I'm excited about that, there's a part of me that's like, man, I get no time to myself. Why am I going to spend part of the time by myself with other people? But I think at this point it would look bad to cancel. So I think we're still going to do that. But yeah, I played 7 minutes of this Cowabunga collection, the Ninja Turtles game. All 7 of those minutes were in the NES game, and that is how long it took for me to have 2 of the Ninja Turtles die and be down to only 2 left. Game is still hard. And it wasn't even the swimming in the dam and disarming bombs thing, which is the actual insanely hard part. Not often as an adult can you just sit in your boxers and play video games without someone possibly coming in. Yeah, it's true. It's a real thing. It's really nice. I mean, I'll say that was one thing like, the crappy part is it came with sickness. But that was one nice part about being sick, is it was like, oh, should I work tonight? Should I work today? And the answer was just a very easy, you didn't have to argue with yourself very much. No, I'm not going to. And what a world that was. That was a sure nice thing. But yeah. Anyway, we're getting there, bit by bit. Still prone to coughing fits. Still have to clear my throat a lot. But otherwise we're there. Also got, I checked out Gunfire Reborn. I haven't played it yet, but that one Scott was telling me is really good. I'm going to try and check out both of those before, if we do core, I guess I should say. Bo is pro doing core. I'm probably about 50-50. One part of me is like, man, let's just take the week off with Scott, and then there's another part of me that's like, yeah, but it would be fun. It would be different. It'd be exciting. Be nice to yourself. Sometimes you're the only one who is. That is extremely good advice. That is advice I'm trying to give the stepkids at the moment. You know, the social trials and tribulations of school being what they are at times. You know, one of the best lessons you can learn as a kid is that, hey, there are other people that are incapable of building themselves up. And the only way they can feel good compared to other people is to tear them down. Don't go down that road. And that is a lesson that is having to get repeated quite frequently these days. Which is hard, you know, because you know on the other side of that, it probably means there's, you know, drama and difficulty and hard times. But, you know, we all had to figure it out. We all had to go through it. We just hope that it will be easier for our kids and stuff like that. Old games were hard, man. I've still never been able to beat Little Nemo Dream Master. Yeah, some of those old games. Like, there's a difference between old games are hard and old games are aggressively evil against you, the player. And it's even sadder because a lot of these games are like home console games. It's like, guys, you're not getting quarters out of us. You know, I feel like that's the lesson that eventually came to video games was, oh, you know what? That there's nothing for them to keep buying. Like, what if we just made the game good? Crazy. Maybe, I don't know how rentals worked with video games. Like, I don't know. Did video game companies get any cut if their game was being rented a lot? I'm sure there would have to be something like that, maybe, right? I don't know. But anyway, I don't know how it works, but I'm just trying to figure out why it would still be in companies' best interest to make games unplayably difficult back in the day. I get it if you're at an arcade, right? Like, arcade games actually make sense. I don't get it for like, hey, they bought the new NES Ninja Turtles game. We've made it impossible. This will surely make the brand have longevity as everybody gets insanely mad at all the Ninja Turtles. Play Deep Rock Galactic? Man, we want to. It's something that gets talked about a lot. It's just finding the time, you know. It's finding when we can work that in. Everybody just got so busy. You know, Kyle, Kristen, they got the kid. They got another kid on the way. I got my son, and, you know, my family went from just me worrying about me to all of a sudden me taking care of a wife, me taking care of 3 kids. And it just became, you know, everybody, it's the big thing that everybody says. They're like, once you have kids, you know, you give up on hobbies and stuff like that. And it always sounded too dramatic to me, but it is also true. Like, and the more, this is the where I butt my head against things, is like the more stubbornly you try to hold on to those things, the more friction you're going to have in those things. And I think eventually what happens is it just wears you away. Like, you just make concession after concession until next thing you know, you're like, oh, I've given up all my friends and free time. When did that happen? Has Bo played Orc Massage yet? He did. He said he didn't like it. But I'm pretty sure he got it not on Steam because he didn't want people to know how much he played it or that he even had it. So I can't say for sure how much of it he has played. But he said it wasn't good. That was what made me sad. Was that it wasn't a good game. I was actually surprised. I have a friend who very much I'm shocked at the restraint he has exercised because he's the kind of person that would 100% buy me for birthdays or some holiday a bunch of porn games on Steam just to have it appear in my profile. So that he could mention that I had a bunch of porn games in my profile. And that's, he has exercised great restraint. He hasn't done it yet. But I don't think he's been by the stream. I don't think he knows the Orc Massage meme that has gone on. If he did, I'm about 100% sure he would have bought Orc Massage for me at some point. Because he wouldn't be able to resist that. And then if I launched it, I would hear about it a lot. So, that's a big part of it too. That's probably why midlife crises happen. Yeah, probably. I mean, I certainly am prone to going that way, It's one of those things, you see it happen to somebody else and you go, oh my gosh, look at these people that are so overdramatic and so... my time is precious and, look at, and I'm dying and this is where I'm going. It definitely feels different when you're in the thick of it. I'll say that much. Not that I'm having a midlife crisis, but I am having a hard time moving into a different phase of my life. It's hard to figure out all the time, right? Because there's a balance and you want to do right, especially once you have kids. You look at the kids and you're like, oh man, I want to do right by them. I want to make sure that they, don't need anything, that they have, at least a decent life growing up. And you try to balance your happiness and sanity with trying to provide that. And all of a sudden there's just a lot of friction. It's hard moving from me to we without losing too much of yourself. Yeah, 100%. That's why I'm so curious, I don't want to make this too personal, but Bo's a friend of mine. He's interested in this sort of stuff. And, I think that's going to be the curious thing. If it's a thing that he ever decides to pull the trigger on, he's always said that he's so fiercely independent, and that's where a lot of his stubbornness comes from. It's a hard shift. I didn't think I was that stubborn and independent, and then it happened to me, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, maybe I have a problem too. So it's a challenge. My advice to people out there is don't be in a race to let go of what you have. Enjoy it. Even though it doesn't always seem great in the moment. And that's also advice that is frequently said around the house, But this is, I feel like this conversation is somber. Why are we getting so somber? So self-reflective? All of a sudden we've become Chrono Cross. Luckily, I've always been a complete mess on my own. Yes, but there's one thing, you can handle your own mess sometimes. I mean, some people can't, for sure, right? Like, you just gotta watch an episode of Hoarders to know that there's people that can't handle their own shit. But there's definitely like a... Oh my gosh, Azixay, making me jealous. My Steam Deck just arrived. I'm immediately installing Final Fantasy XIV to it. Friggin' Steam Deck, man. When's my expected a place where I can potentially buy another one? Oh, it moved up. It actually moved up because it used to be October is what they were telling me. And now the prediction is July through September sometime. That's not bad for somebody that got the offer to buy one and turned it down and had to basically go back to the back of the line. That's pretty insane. I don't have the money, so I might have to go right back to the back of the line, but you know, doesn't matter. Here we are. It's sooner than I thought. I'll use all that birthday money I didn't get and buy one. I got more money from my internet provider cashing out a credit we had on our account than I did from anyone else for my birthday. So the gamble of I'll use birthday money on that Steam Deck wouldn't have panned out at all. Don't make that gamble. That gamble works when you're a kid. When you're a kid, you can plan out birthday money. You can go, you know what? I'm going to get that around my birthday because I'll have birthday money. When you become an adult, don't make plans with birthday money. It doesn't come. Nobody gives you anything. And like half the people that used to give you stuff die. That's the other thing that happens. It would be easier to message you if you know John had a Discord we could all hang out in. Look, it's coming. It's getting there. All right, we're getting to it. It exists. I know once I let people in, there's going to be additional work I have to do on the thing. I've been pulled into the Discord era, like kicking and screaming. I don't like Discord very much. I know financially and like feature wise, Slack is not as good, but I like Slack so much more than Discord. We were forced off of it because Scott was just like, guys, I don't use Slack for anything except talking to you guys. Can we please just go to Discord? That was the end of Slack for me. And now I'm forced to use Discord, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I basically just constantly mute everything. I have like a big page of Discord channels, and I've literally gone through and muted every single thing except like 2 channels within 2 channels. You know, like... It's very selective what I actually want to hear notices from Discord. And everybody has one. And like that's the part is, you know, it's like being in Arizona now and being a Cardinals fan. It's like, yeah, I could do it and there wouldn't be anything weird about it except for the fact that I've made fun of the Cardinals my whole life, and so now becoming a fan of them would seem weird. It's the same premise. It's like, God, I hate that everybody has a Discord because Discord's the worst. Hey, everybody, come join my new Discord. You know, it just... Are we just throwing out all the old, awful chat programs? Some of these were okay. Moved Event, TeamSpeak, ICQ, AOL Instant Messenger... I used every single one of those that just got named, by the way. Not Matrix chat. I don't know what that is. I assume that's chatting in the Matrix MMO with other people. That's what I assume. ICQ was the one I used the most. Like, I was definitely a technology hipster. Everybody was like, what's your AOL Instant Messenger name? What's your AOL Instant Messenger name? I was like, I use ICQ. Excuse me. I use ICQ. All right? I'm not an AOL Instant Messenger person, okay? ICQ is where it's at. Yeah, I used MSN Messenger as well. I did use AOL Instant Messenger for a while, but like, I mean, I used AOL for a while. I certainly was a part of the, like, you've got mail, like, log into the program, and that was the internet. The ICQ, is forever ingrained. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. There was a program I used before AOL. It was really weird because the first thing I ever did online was there was this service. I think it was called Imagination, like INN Imagination. Hold on, let me see. Imagination. I want to say that's what it was. It was this, like, no, maybe that wasn't it. It was like this weird, what's the word? It was like a graphical online hub that was like chat rooms and ways to launch games, and they were like all multiplayer based. Maybe it was just Imagination Network. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, this is it. It was called the Imagination Network. It was from Sierra Gamers. It was in 1991. And it was this weird thing where you could go to a bunch of different places, and it would basically be chat rooms, but then it would launch video games that you played with other people from there. And that was my first real, like, online thing that I did. Like, as far as chatting with other people, as far as playing games online, all of that, that was the first thing. And then I went from that to AOL, and that felt like such a downgrade. Like, AOL came later, but I was like, man, this other place was like a colorful town, and when it was wintertime, it snowed on all the buildings. Like, this place was crazy cool, and then all of a sudden, now we're just using AOL, and it's just text and gray, and it felt awful. I didn't like it at all. I'm trying to see if we can find. Let me see. Okay, let's get rid of that. Here, we'll do this. I'll show you. This was it. This is what it looked like. So yeah, it was like this graphical interface type place, and you would just click these spots, and like they went through the seasons. So like this is what it looked like in fall. And this is what it looked like in summer, and this is what it looked like in winter. And you would just go there, and you could play a bunch of games, including, like, some of the games were legitimately, like, pretty decent. Like Red Baron, you could play with a flight stick and all of that. This is a picture of a game called Boogers. This is Ben versus Cubus. Like, and it was kind of multiplayer gaming. It was like my first step into multiplayer gaming was this weird thing. But it was super cool. I was hooked on it, like, in a way that my parents definitely were concerned about. And then it eventually went away. I don't know if my parents just were like, we're not paying for this anymore. And then it became about AOL. And AOL was just awful at first. There was no pictures. It was all just text. My mom was trying to sell me on it. But she was trying to sell me on going from this to friggin' like, no, like, you definitely want to just read about Star Trek. Like, that's what you want. So, yeah, I don't know. This text here said 1991. So I don't know. I don't know exactly when it was. I just know that it was like my first online experience was really this. Then it was AOL. AOL eventually got better. It did become slightly graphical. I remember the day that like whatever version of AOL that was the graphical version of AOL came out. Man, I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, it's got art. It's not just text. Like, look at this thing. That was a real sleepless night transition right there. And then we got MSN accounts and we got proper internet, and that was another hard transition for me. I was like, wait a minute. I had to have it explained to me. I was like, where's the internet? And my mom's like, you're on it. And I was like, no, this is like MSN.com. Where's the internet? Like, where's all the key pages and stuff like that? And she's like, no, you just got to go to websites. I was like, well, what's a website? She's like, well, you just got to find one and then go to it. And I was like, well, how do I find one, Mom? You're giving me problems and no solutions. Nobody really knew what to do. We were blazing the trail. We were all new to it. I was a kid. And there was just this general sentiment of like, you don't understand. You took the internet from me because you had a graphical interface, and then all of a sudden you just have a web browser. It's very different when you're a kid. It's very hard to get used to. At least it was at the time. Nowadays, kids look at the web browser and they're like, yeah, what? Just Google, just search, just type it. Like that, people even take, being able to just type your search into your address bar for granted. I remember when that was a feature. It was like, hey, you can just type into your address bar and it'll search for you. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Because when I started, it was like, hey, what's the web page? And we typed some bullshit to go to web pages. Anyway, that's my... some of us had to ask a robot to Google for us. Yeah, a hot robot. A hot bot. Everybody, like, that was the other weird thing, was growing up at a time where, like, Googling stuff wasn't normal. Like, nobody said it. And Google even existed before, before it became what it was. Like, it was there, but there were still people that were talking about asking Jeeves or using Lycos or, all these other ones. And it was really weird. Like, it was just a weird time. And I remember I had some friends that were absolutely convinced that they were going to create the next big search engine. And I feel like it was a month later that everybody was like, just Google it. And I was like, well, they're not going to be doing that. They didn't know at the time. They still were convinced that that was what they were going to do for quite some time. Do you have any nostalgia for Final Fantasy X? A little bit, but not a lot. I've talked about this every now and then on the stream. For some reason, for whatever reason, Final Fantasy X gets hung up in my mind as a negative experience. But I can't rationally think of any reason. I remember playing it as a kid. I remember like not having a bad time with it. I remember thinking it was very fun. I remember sinking a lot of hours into it. And I have no idea why in my head when I think about Final Fantasy X, I go, ugh. So we're going to kind of rediscover how I feel about it as we go, once we get into it. But I won't say that it's the one I'm like most excited for. But I can't think of any reason not to be excited for it. Like we're on our third of the 3 PlayStation era games. And it's exciting to kind of see what that transition is going to look like. But I'm definitely, I feel like I've been typically the odd man out in a lot of these. Like for the NES generation, I was most excited about 3. And that was the one I was most looking forward to playing, and that's the one I ended up liking the most. For the Super NES generation, it was 6, which I think is the one that is generally considered the best. That was the one I had the least amount of experience with, so I was the most excited for it because I knew nothing about it for the most part. So maybe a little more normal on that. For PlayStation, 9 has been the one I've been the most excited for, which I feel like there's been a resurgence of 9, but back when it came out, like people like 9 came out and people were talking about 10 more than 9, even before 10 was out. Like it just didn't seem to get a lot of love back in the day. Maybe that's where some of my like disinterest in 10 is. Maybe I was the kid that was telling everybody that 9 was really good and they were just like, no, it's about 10. I'm like, okay, geez. And then for PS2, I'm really looking forward to 12. I remember being very hesitant to play 12. It was one of those where it's like on paper looking at it, there was a lot of things that made me go, I don't think I'm going to like this one. I think this one's going to be bad. I didn't like the look of the characters. I thought most of the characters looked uninteresting. I didn't like Ivalice as a world. I didn't like the creature design. I didn't like that it was kind of trying to be an offline MMO. And there's just a lot of stuff about 12 that was rubbing me the wrong way. That they were changing up the combat system, all of that. And then I played it and I ended up really liking it. And so usually if I can go into something with a negative attitude and then walk away with a positive experience, like it's extra kudos to whatever that thing was, because I am the kind of person that if my mind gets set on something, you have to work extra hard to get me over my own little mental hurdle. There's some people that aren't like that and they're better people than me. But if I have a preconceived notion, you definitely have to work twice as hard to get me over it. John, I will tell you all about how Final Fantasy IX got overlooked in favor of 11. You just need to visit this website. Okay, the strategy guide for 9 was bad. And, for anybody that wanted strategy guide stuff, you had a bad experience with 9, and I understand. And, me too. I had that strategy guide. What a waste of money. What an awful, awful waste of money. There should be a class action lawsuit, and they should refund anybody who bought that strategy guide. It's awful. It's awful. We all agree. What a stupid thing. Although it certainly, it made me describe the future we live in, because I remember complaining about it to my parents at the time and being like, this is ridiculous. The strategy guide gives almost no information and it just tells you to go to the website to learn more. I was like, how are we supposed to do that? It's not like we have the internet in our hands. like we can carry around some screen that connects to the internet. If we had that, then maybe this makes sense. But in a world where my TV is in a different spot from my computer, how am I supposed to be playing the game and get the information on the website? Am I supposed to walk up and down stairs just to find out what to do? Like, this was my rant to my parents, and they were like, we don't care. We please stop talking to us. And yet here we are now. That's what everybody can do. The 9 strategy guide could come out in today's society, and it wouldn't be good, but it would be more forgivable. It was worse than that. By the time I played, every page referenced in the guide got taken down and got replaced with Final Fantasy XI ads. Well, okay, yeah, if you were playing in the time of Final Fantasy XI, sure. But, you know, I played when those pages were up. In fact, I even remember trying to print the stupid thing. And then there was definitely, like, that conversation with my parents. What are you printing? I need to print out the strategy guide. Strategy guide that's in your hand? Yes. Because this strategy guide doesn't actually tell me what to do. It just tells me to go to this stupid website. And it was not uncommon for me as a kid to make my own quote-unquote strategy guides. I would go through, like, any magazine that gave walkthroughs of sections and stuff, and I would collect, because I had multiple gaming magazines. So I'd go like, okay, which game do I want to make a strategy guide for? Heaven forbid I write anything. Like, I would just go to the store and be like, all right, they're covering this game, they're covering this game, they're covering this game. And I get every bit of information I could, and I'd pour through, and anytime there was anything that could be considered strategy, I'd cut it out, I'd paste it on my own paper, and then I'd staple it all together to create what I would then dub my version of the strategy guide. Sometimes gaming magazines would do a complete strategy guide within the magazine, and that was even better, but it didn't change the fact that I cut all those pages out of that magazine and stuck them in paper and did my own covers for them. I doubt my parents still have these things. I'm sure they got thrown out. It is one of those things where I'm like, man, I wish I still had that. That would be a fun, embarrassing thing to show. Light91, thank you for the biddies. Thank you so much. Hey, appreciate it. Man, that stuff was fun though. Like making your own guides and stuff, that was cool. I had a good time with that. It's so different. There are things that I did as a kid that I am sad that, you know, like my son will never do. Video game rentals, like that was such a like key part of growing up for me. Like movie and video rentals not existing is probably a net positive for the world, but there is a part of me that's like, man, you guys don't know. You don't know the joy of convincing your parents to go to, you know, Blockbuster. Or for me, it was a place called Video City. And, you know, you don't know the joy of going to Video City and hoping that they had whatever video game you wanted. And, you know, the excitement of the times they did and getting what you went there for. And, like, that stuff was fun. I do feel bad that it's gone. You can try and simulate it. You can be like, guys, tonight we're watching something from Netflix, but it just doesn't have the same ring to it. I never did any midnight release stuff. I feel like my rental window was a very specific time. And then my parents got very heavily into gaming a little bit. And then on top of that, my mom was a big, like, techie. And because my mom was a techie, she would always be like, let's get whatever not everything. It's not like I had every console, but, like, she was very big on the, like, when the Super Nintendo and the Genesis were out, she was like, let's get a Super Nintendo. And then they got a golf game for my dad with the Super Nintendo. And the golf game was so bad, they got rid of the Super Nintendo and got a Genesis, which that was exciting. I was excited to get a Genesis. I definitely fell for the Sega does what Nintendo don't advertisements. But we did get a Super NES again eventually. But my dad liked golfing, and apparently the Super NES golf game was not a good offering. Cost them a sale. Shame on you, Nintendo. Last midnight release I did was drive 2 hours to Best Buy that converted a portion of their store into a haunted house for Resident Evil 5. Holy cow, that's awesome. I'm trying to remember the last midnight release I would have done for a video game. Like, Wrath of the Lich King sticks out in my mind, but that's because I got pulled over by a cop going to get it. So I'm sure there were midnight releases after that. But I don't remember when I stopped with the World of Warcraft midnight releases. You know what? It might have been when I got a PS4, I went on a like Thanksgiving evening midnight run to get a PS4. And I think that's the last time I did anything at midnight video game related. Yep, I remember doing the Wii. That was one I did for sure. Man, we were so excited about the Wii. Not that it was a bad console. It's just, I put the Nintendo Wii and VR on very similar pillars in my head. Something very unique, something very charming, something very good that has a lot of hassle associated with it, that eventually the novelty of the thing is not worth the hassle that also comes with the thing. But officer, you don't understand Death Knights. Yeah, I didn't tell him I was... Actually, I probably did tell him I was off to a midnight release of a video game. That was a weird time, like, because the way it started was I got pulled over supposedly for speeding. But the police officer, when he came up to my window, the very first thing he said to me was, I don't know how fast you were going. And so in my head, you know, because I'm trying to be nice because, you know, I don't want to get shot or anything, but I'm trying to be nice and respectful, you know, try and get out of the ticket the only way I know how, which is be polite. But in my head, I'm sitting there thinking like, well, I am absolutely going to fight this ticket. If the first words out of your mouth are, I don't know how fast you were going, how can you justify giving me a ticket? But that's in my head. I don't say that out loud. But it made me feel like I had some power in the situation, which quickly disappeared when he asked for current insurance and I had forgotten to put my most current insurance card in the car. And all of a sudden, all that confidence that I was in the right and he was in the wrong disappeared. Although I do have to say, I think that's such a stupid thing. I think the fact that there's a thing you have to have, and you have to have a little card, and you have to make sure it's in your car at all times, and it's not valid all the time. They send you a bunch of new ones, but you have to have it. I know now there are places, there's some situations where you're able to pull it up on your phone, which makes sense. That's how it should work. I just think it's a stupid thing. But that notwithstanding, I did not get a ticket. I was very polite, and then I acted like I might cry a little. Not like in and over. I wasn't like, or anything like that. But I just was giving him the like, I'm so sorry, officer. I didn't know. You know, shaking the voice a little bit. And he basically just like let me off with a warning. That was it. It was not the I've knock on wood, never gotten a ticket. But it was far from the worst situation of being pulled over by the police that I've ever been in. Because there's an incident at a mall where somebody thought my truck mooing like a cow was a gunshot, and it led to a whole thing. That's a story for another day. That'll be anybody watching this. If you want to hear the time I got pulled over by a lot of cops at gunpoint, that's a story for another day. Spoilers, I survived the situation. Yes, my truck could moo. It sounded nothing like a gunshot, just to be clear. If you can't go with sexy, pity is a great second. Yeah, I'm not gonna get by on looks. That's for sure. So I have to just kind of seem like a lost, like a lost child that just needs a cool story. I also, I know you thought you were watching a ghost. This was gonna be a big twist. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I have always been a firm believer you win more flies with sugar or honey. I try to be nice and cordial in every situation, but I was lying a little bit. I was certainly not scared, but I did pretend to be scared. And the power move, I don't know if this is what avoided me getting a ticket, but I will say it was an intentional gamble. Whenever the officer asked for anything, like when he asked for the insurance that it turns out I didn't have, I acted terrified and was like, I can get it for you, but I have to open my glove compartment. Is that okay? And like acted like I was genuinely afraid to like move in the car. The gamble being, I wanted him to deep down think, this guy is terrified of the police. Let's give him a good police officer experience. I don't think this will work 100% of the time. I don't think that this is a good gamble for everybody, and I don't think that it would work on every police officer. It's just the one I went with at the time. You just pretend that you are terrified. Depending on how well you can pull it off, because if you act like you're terrified, you might also act like you're hiding something, which might make them more curious. Might cause problems for you. So it's not universal recommendation here. It's what I did in the moment. Yeah, it might make you seem like nervous. You got to be able to play off correctly that it is not a case of I'm nervous. It's that I'm scared of you, a police officer. It's a thin line, and it's not going to work for everybody. So, use that advice at your own risk. All right, I think we should probably get to the game, everybody. I don't even know how we got on this conversation. I don't know why we're here. I'm in a neighborhood that is unfamiliar to me. So I say that's a pretty good sign that we need to just play a video game at this point. Again, I don't know if it's just like maybe still getting over stuff, but I'm feeling, yesterday I felt great. Today I feel a little exhausted. But I also have not gotten as much sleep as I needed. So let's get into the game and let's do it. All right. We need to We need to get a song queued up for the end. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? No. 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 Yeah, let's do that. That one's fine. All right. Everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the bits. If you're having a good time, make sure you do follow the channel. Throw a like or a sub if you're watching a VOD. Really helps out. Yeah, I think that's it. We've covered the business. Let's get to it. Here we go. Final Fantasy IX. We're back. We're back in it. It's been a while, and that, I mean, it's, yesterday is when we played last. So I always mention when I did play a little offline, not a lot, but I just wanted to make sure I had everybody's abilities and gear set correctly, and I wanted to, Ben Bambino, thank you so much for the sub. What a way to start. And the follow, as a matter of fact. It was both. Good having you here. I appreciate it. So I did run to the other side of the bridge. We did that. This is Trino. You didn't really miss any cutscenes or anything. Just some exploring and some fighting. And making sure that everybody's gear and equipment was good. And now we're going to go into this town for the first time. This is where we're headed. Trino. And that's where we start today. Princess, this is Trino, the city of nobles. We need to find out which noble has the super soft. There aren't many nobles living here. The nights are long. It's a great place for thieves. People like you turn this city into a slum. Let's steal the super soft and get this over with. Steal? How dare you? Do you think I'd let you commit a crime before my very eyes? How else would we get the super soft? Quiet! I will not allow such disgraceful behavior. I never asked you to come along. Quit complaining. Don't you talk back to me. First of all... Uh-oh. Do not interrupt me while I'm talking. Look behind you. What? Princess, I urge you not to... Princess? No, not again. Never have I dealt with such hardship during my 18 years of service. This is all because of you and your scoundrel friends. Gone. An Alexandrian knight must not let such frivolous matter get to him. I must find the princess. Come back here. Was that a pickpocket? I should be careful. Hey, my money's gone. What? Don't you do it. Heh, what are you doing here, Sir Knight? How do you like the scenery? Isn't it beautiful? It looks splendid, but isn't it dangerous around here? I'll protect you. If you drop money into the fountain 10 times, there's a Stelazio. Alright, I feel happier. 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 I feel happier! What number are we on? I feel happier. Another coin appeared when you threw in your coin. Alright. Enough throwing in the stupid fountain. This is not a very nice city. Better find the super soft fast and get back to Alexandria. Maybe not this way. Yeah, I won't find the super soft over there. Oh. Excuse me, have you heard of a thing called super soft?
My wife? She died 3 years ago.
No, I'm looking for an item that cures all petrification.
Oh, really? I'm doing fine, but thanks for asking. I may be old, but I'm still healthy.
Thank you very much.
You're still young, don't give up. Good luck.
A Yeti card. 1 gil. Man, let's really put that in a chest. Hello, ma'am. You've got a wide selection. Take your time and see.
There's gotta be an easier way to make a quick buck.
Oh, I found a Ford Taurus behind this stall. Our houses need repair constantly, not like the nobles' houses. Alright, nothing to do there. There's a Viagra joke in there somewhere searching for super soft, that's true. Maybe in the remake they'll do it. They should. They shouldn't be afraid of it. Cost 100 gil to rest here. Then buzz off. This guy stole a ton of money from some noble's mansion in Trino. He's my hero. I want to be famous like him. A bearded man with glasses and some guy went down the staircase, but I can't let you through without my boss's permission. Wanted. 10,000 gil rewarded to whoever catches him. Take a good look around, Mario. We're gonna get out of this slum someday and live in a mansion in the waterfront. We're gonna become nobles, right, sis? We're gonna become nobles someday. Mario, don't tell strangers about our big plan. $700 gil, 1,200. Oh, this must be an auction house. And maybe I can find the super soft here. I saw Kuja. Where did he go? Let's go down here. Shout out to my main man, John. Keeping it 100 every day. Thank you very much. Bishop, the master of this mansion, likes to fund scholastic research. He also runs a synthesis shop and rents out nearby tower to a researcher. Rich people do strange things. Welcome. I don't remember which of these things I have and don't have. I should probably be more thoughtful about it. I don't know if I have a coral ring or not. I also might need that lightning staff still, so maybe we hold off on that. Oh, is the inventory separated by party? What's it do? Oh, it's powerful. Auto potion seems good.
Good evening, all.
Oh, what's going on? They're talking down there. You never know. If people spend money buying other items, it could be cheaper. The man who always sits in the front row is there to buy the main attraction. You can try recommending other items to him, maybe. I feel like that was important and I should have paid attention to it. Galabrand, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. Guy doesn't want to talk to me. You brought Stelazio for Queen Stella? It better not be a fake. The bird lady can tell right away.
She didn't fall for my cheap imitation, Stelazio.
Please bring the Stelazio to the Queen when you find them. The Queen will reward you with a gift when you do. I am collecting star-shaped coins called Stelazio. Oh, you have the Scorpio. Give it to me in return for a reward. Sure. You are most kind. Give it to me. Nice. Quack, quack, quack. You may take a reward from my servant. Alright. We have received one Stelazio from you. Oh, you have the cancer. Well, I'm sorry, Steiner. Man, this is a dark episode. Oh, don't worry. We're giving it away. Okay, a Phoenix Pinion. Good. I think I have more. You have the Gemini. Alright, what you got? 2,000 gil. Alright. Oh, she's gonna take my Ford Taurus. Great. Man, I had a lot of these. Oh, Blood Sword. Yeah, take it. $5,000 gil. Alright, I think that's all I got. Okay, she's only interested in collecting Stelazio. Broadsword, Iron Sword, Blood Sword. Oh, it learns Dark Side as well. Am I learning anything right now? No, I already learned it. Nice. Alright, sweet. Let's check his abilities here real quick. What's Armor Break do? Reduce the enemy's defense? That seems good. Oh, those are abilities. I have those. Okay. Cover's good, alert's good, bright eyes. These all seem fine. Hell yeah. I ran down by the river and I found something. With that, you may be able to take on the monster at the weapon shop. Okay. If I find a monster at a weapon shop, I'll be sure to beat him up. I'm gonna win today and get you a new card. This card game stadium is a gathering place for nobles. No, don't talk to me about your stupid card game. I've got no interest in playing. Making out cats. Oh. It's a Moogle and a dog. There's a letter from Stiltskin. Let us read it together, Kupo. There's trouble in this rainy city. The guys I saw there heading towards Voob Desert, west of Bermesia. They'll only find sandstorms. What could they possibly want? I'm gonna follow them and see. Voob Desert is far away. Stiltskin is amazing, Kupo. Alright, let's save. I used to gamble up a storm at the card stadium when I was young. Nobles are living a life of luxury by the sea while I'm drunk living on the streets. Life stinks. Burp. Oh, we're back here. Did I go in here? I don't remember now. Oh yeah, that's the end. I didn't go up here. That's where I didn't go. Come on, don't be mad. I'm taking it out of your allowance. Alright, so here's our auction house. Princess! Thank goodness I found you. I was worried. How can I find the Super Soft when I keep having to listen to your complaints? Such harsh words. I don't think it's here anyway. Where's Marcus? I do not know. Maybe Marcus found it already. Are you coming? I'm going with or without you. I shall follow you, Princess. I've seen him before. In a cutscene. Alright. I'm guessing there's no auctions I need to participate in. Otherwise, they wouldn't have kicked me out of there. I gotta find this weapon shop. Oh, jeez. What you got? Got that. I could always buy another one of those, and then I can, you know, do the thing I gotta do. Bone wrist. Yeah, give me 2 of those. Two of those. We'll just do that. What's with the monster? The master of the Knight family who owns this building keeps that monster as a pet. He likes to see people challenge it and get beat up. I want to fight the monster. Are you sure? I can't guarantee your safety. Who'll fight the monster? We'll have Steiner fight the monster. Alright, here we go. Let's do it. Alright, that hit kind of hard, actually. I probably shouldn't have done a move that's going to hurt me. But I thought it would do a lot of damage. Yeah, it did. It did do a lot of damage. My sword's supposed to heal me, though, right? Like, if I hit him... Okay, there we go. Wow, I can't believe it. Here's your prize. Oh, a card. Oh, I already did that. Man, I didn't know I was just getting a stupid card. Just wanted to let you know, John, that I look forward to Core Podcast every week. I don't really have gamer friends, so I get my fix of video game discussion with you three. It genuinely makes me happy to listen to. Don't know if that's corny or not. No, that's awesome. That's stuff I love to hear. It's very easy to miss that side of it when you're making stuff, and it means a lot to hear. I guess I'll go in here, but I don't know if I want to... Oh shit, he's announcing it. No, I don't want to play a card game. Screw your stupid card game. We're leaving. Okay, jeez. I feel like I've already been everywhere. Where we gotta go? Let's follow this person. Look out. Look out. I push my way through you. This tower is always closed. Something fishy's going on. Well, they have a treasure chest, so they can't be all bad. Oh, it's locked. Alright, something fishy is going on, kid. Nope. Nope. Alright. Well, not 100% sure where we need to go at this point. Maybe we do go back to the auction house. I mean, Kuja's there. We know he's a baddie. Maybe we can buy some stuff. Today's items are a rare mini Sid, a rare Doga's artifact, an acclaimed Madane's ring, the acclaimed Reflect ring. First, a rare item, mini Sid starting at 500 gold. Do we want a mini Sid? Hey. This mini Sid's getting expensive. Hey! Oh. I was gonna do 3001. Hell yeah, I want it, you guys. Am I supposed to buy any of this stuff? Or is this just a big waste of my money? Doga was big on the other Final Fantasies. He was an important character. Wow, this is getting expensive. Yeah, this seems too expensive. Go for it. What now, bitch? Oh shit. Guys, this is way too pricey. I don't even know what this does. They're just gonna go forever. This... Medane's Ring. It's getting pretty pricey too. Can you guys hurry up? Reflect ring. Oh, jeez. Alright, I'm getting in on this. Shit! I don't know if it's worth that. Guys, that's a lot of money. I don't even use Reflect very much. I think you guys just want me to spend money. I don't think I even have this much money. Alright, I do, but that's not the point. Nope, too late. It already sold. Alright, I got my mini Sid. That's all that really matters. Alright, we're not doing that. I feel like I've been everywhere in this stupid town. That guy always looks like he's up to something. Cafe Carta. Oh, members only. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, we already talked to her. Bird Lady. Already been dealt with. The main attraction of tonight's auction is Reflect Ring, supposedly. Interesting. But if that's true, there's no chance in the world I could ever afford to buy it. You never know. If other people spend money buying other items, it could be cheaper. The man who always sits in the front row is there to buy the main attraction. You can try recommending other items to him, maybe. Okay, so that's what the tip is. So if we want the reflect ring, we go in and we talk him into doing other stuff. Alright, I got the items needed to make that. So let's do that. And I think I also bought the items to do that. So let's make that too. Alright, we've done all that. I'm at a genuine loss of what we still need to do, though. Where did he go? Nope. Why the heck are we leaving the city? It's because we were looking for you. We were looking for you. Alright, we already know all that. Let's see here. Insomniac, we can learn with the bandana. That would be a good thing to have. So maybe we equip that. Alright, nothing really to learn there. Jeremy Boots, Insomniac. I mean, ability up seems good. Yeah, let's do that. And I guess we should also figure out what your abilities are. Equip. What does ability up do? Characters learn abilities faster. That's great. Prevent sleep. It's all good. Alright, we're back. Well, I'm off to the bar. Alright, well now we know where he goes. He goes to the bar. Oh, right, there was that person down here that said we couldn't get in. I remember now. We figured it out. We're ready to retrieve the Super Soft. Good. At last, we can save Blank. When do we leave? We can leave right away, so you're coming along, huh? Are you ready? Ready. Let's go. Princess! Princess, please wait! Boss is waiting at the dock. Boss? You mean... Yep, there's only one man we call boss. Princess, please wait! It may be a trap. You cannot trust criminals. Will you please come back and... Will you please hear my counsel and turn back? Princess! Think of the consequences. You are a princess! If the queen hears about this... Princess, do you know that breaking and entering is a crime? I need to make sure you don't steal anything else. Let's go. Damn it! I'm coming along. It is my duty to protect the princess from bad influence. Do whatever you want. Always talking about your duty. Ain't you got any thoughts of your own? Don't you talk back to me. I'm escorting the princess. I thought you might have changed after traveling with Zidane, but... You ain't changed. Do you even know why you're here? What do you mean? Let's just go, okay? How was Burmecia? Not bad. Better if I didn't have to see those vermin and the ugly elephant lady. They offend my senses. You must be tired. It's not over yet. The rest of the vermin must be done away with. Will you be heading to Clara then? Yes. I trust you will deliver them? Certainly. I shall prepare now. By the way, did you see a pretty lady in the crowd today? Pretty lady? Shall I arrange a meeting? There's no need. The canary I've been after, she flew into my cage of her own free will. Never would I have imagined running into you in a place like this. It must be fate. But you cannot rest your wings yet. Fly home to your mother, my little canary. I, too, will welcome you home with open arms. His music is really good. What in the world am I doing? I'm assisting thieves in committing a crime. No, I must be patient. Protect the princess. Escort her back to the castle. Focus on your duties. Trust the queen. She would never commit an atrocity. There must be a good reason. No thoughts of my own. Nonsense! How can I, a lowly knight, understand the queen's thinking? I need not worry about the ramblings of a criminal. Just think about escorting the princess home. I'll probably never see him again. Mehul ATL. Hello, welcome. Thanks for hanging out and thank you for the follow. He was the culprit. He pulled the princess and me into his intrigues. It's your fault, Zidane. If you hadn't treated me like a child, I wouldn't be here hunting after Super Soft to save one of your friends. Why am I doing this? Because Blank saved me? Yeah, he saved me. He saved my life. The least I can do is return the favor. But I never thought about things like this before. How are we to find the Super Soft in this mountain of boxes? Just find it. Someone's coming. Oh, I can't believe I ran out of ink on a night like this. I must find more ink and go back to the observatory. Should I take care of him? Wait. Princess, no. Huh? You're... I've missed you, Dr. Tot. Princess Garnet! Dr. Tot. You know him? Dr. Tot is the highly respected scholar who tutored the princess. Ah, Master Steiner, you must be quiet, or you'll wake the shopkeeper. But, Princess, what on earth are you doing here? It's a long story. We're looking for Super Soft right now. There is a proper reason for this. We are not here to steal or commit any form of crime. Somebody down there? Run along. I will give you Super Soft later. Go left from the Trino entrance and continue until you find a large tower. The tower is my home. It's locked, but I shall unlock the door and await your arrival. All right, let's go back. Thank you, Dr. Tot. I'll see you later. Oh, it's you, Dr. Tot. Ah, great timing. I ran out of ink. You should have called me. I'll get yelled at if our inventory's wrong. Princess. John, I love your Steiner voice. Any chance your next There Will Be Dungeons character is in a similar vein? It'd be fun. It'd be really fun to play a Steiner-like character in D&D. So, this Tootsie's gonna give us Super Soft? It's Todd. Whatever. I can't believe Tantalus is at the mercy of some old man. Huh. I guess we gotta keep babysitting the princess. Still. He ain't gonna give you the Super Soft unless you're with the princess.
What's the deal, Princess? I'm asking you to take Marcus to this toot, Tot.
I was going to anyway.
Well, get some rest before you go. I'm sure Ted needs time to prepare. It's Tot.
Yeah, let's get some rest. Why not? We've spent so much money today. Let's just spend more. Alright. We can go up and out. And then this was that tower that was all the way to the left. Running. Running. Oh. Dr. Tot. Princess, thank you for coming. Welcome to my humble abode. This is your home? I traveled quite far in search of a sponsor for my research after I departed Alexandria. I finally found one here in Trino. You've grown into a fine young woman. I'm pleased to see you again.
Dr. Tot, you look quite well.
Ah, Master Steiner, you are escorting the princess?
Yes, sir. I deeply regret my earlier actions.
Still a straight arrow, aren't you? I'm sure you had your reasons, but I won't ask why. The Super Soft is in the box right there. Please take it.
Don't mind if I do. Have you no manners? Thank the good doctor.
It's quite all right, Master Steiner. Master Tot, is this Gaia? Yes, it's a globe of our planet Gaia. I remember your lessons. You remember the ramblings of an old fool. Two phrases are commonly found in documents more than 500 years old. One is Jewel, the other is Summoner Tribe. But 500 years ago, the phrases mysteriously vanished from history. The archaeologist Frederick Ashe theorized that Jewel refers to the pendant passed down to the ruler of Alexandria. But the pendant is much too small to be referring to the same Jewel. Other research suggests a relationship between eidolons and magical stones. Dr. Tot. Ah, Princess. Were you reading big books again? I've already read every book in this library, but I think better when I'm surrounded by old books. Really? I don't like books. You are a person of dignity. It is imperative that you study hard. I know. Oh, but I was quite taken by that book you gave me. What was it called? Was it I Want to Be Your Canary by Lord Avon? Oh yes, that's the one. So there is a book I like after all. Bye-bye. What's this, Dr. Tot? That is a globe of Gaia. It's a model of our planet. A Gaia globe? I never knew our castle was shaped like a sphere. We live on the surface, Princess. Ah, yes, the stars. They inspired theories about relating to stones and eidolons. That is why... Oh, I'm sorry. I was lost in thought again. It's okay. Where is my room on this globe? Oh, your room is much too small to point out on this globe. What about the castle? That I can do. And Uncle Sid's? How long has it been? 8 years? Time passes quickly. But I haven't changed. I continue to collect and research these items. Where did you find this globe? It's an antique. It's broken, as you can see, but I use it as an observation deck. Ironic, isn't it? Looking up at the sky from inside a globe? It sure is. Princess, I don't mean to meddle in your affairs, but I am on your side, now and forever. Please tell me if there's anything I can do. Dr. Tot. I see. So the Queen's forces have already grown quite powerful. Okay then, it may be dangerous, but I shall see to it that you reach Alexandria. How? I had an old transportation device remodeled in the case of such an emergency. This way, please. Ah, we can finally return to Alexandria. I'm coming with you. What? Why? I can reach blank more easily from Alexandria. Yes, come with us, Marcus. Okay, Steiner? Let's go save blank and restore my mother to her former self. Well, I don't think the super soft is gonna do that. But, you know, we can try. Please be equipped for battle. There are monsters underground. Please take the ladder inside the hole when you are ready. Garganroo! This is Garganroo, an ancient travel route between Trito and Alexandria. Why was this thing built under a tower? Actually, Garganroo was in use long before the invention of airships. The tower was built on top the disused tunnel. But it looks fairly new. I convinced Mr. Bishop to keep this place intact. I haven't used it since it was remodeled, mind you. We must first activate the tunnel connection sequence and call the Gargant inside. Let's see, where was the sequence trigger? So all we have to do is find the sequence trigger. Princess, let us find it. Let's talk to this Moogle. It's Machos. Thanks for delivering the letter from Nazna, Kupo. Grymo in Southgate's Bowden Station sent me a letter saying that he feels sad when he sees Mary in love, but I think he feels that way because Grymo himself is in love, Kupo. Am I right? I also know that Nazna is in love with Grymo. Let's save. Machos is a great name. Let's see, where was the sequence trigger? Oh, let's go this way. Chain plate. Phoenix down. Oh, definitely pulled the lever. Great. We did it! We pulled the lever! Oh no. Attack him! I don't know, try stealing from him. Let's just see what it does. Phoenix Pinion. Hit him with your weird mace. Feed. Nothing happened. More bugs! Man, this blood sword's really good. Ah, this is it. This is where we call the Garget inside. What do you mean? Garget-Roo Trito Station is shaped like a circle. When you pull that lever, Garget circles around the station continuously. I don't understand what you're saying. Better to show than tell, Princess. Will you pull the lever over there? Wrong lever! Alright. He's learning that. He's learned that. Do we have anything better for him? No. He just learned Undead Killer. He's got all those known. He's got all those known. He's working on that. I kind of feel like we can just optimize him at this point. Alright, pull the lever. What is it? What's that? Ah, perfect timing. That is the Garget, a giant insect that pulls this trolley. Next, we must halt the Garget. Where was the lever? Yes, that's the one. The Garget should stop when you pull the lever. Please hurry. It'll resume once it's finished eating. Are you sure it won't keep going around in circles? It won't. I will reverse the connection sequence and let the Garget out of the station. Please look after the princess, Master Steiner. Of course. The princess is bright, but she is still young and naive. I am concerned about her safety. Please make your own decision on the matter at hand and protect her. I am but a humble knight. I cannot exceed my authority. Is that an honest answer? You may endanger the princess if you keep telling yourself that. I shall take note of your counsel. Very well, Princess. Take care, Dr. Tot. I must hurry. I just pull the lever. Be safe, Princess. Finally. We can reach Alexandria now. You can't even see Trino anymore. I wonder how long it's going to take. I never dreamed of going home in a vehicle like this. Dr. Tot remains a unique character. What's wrong? It's hesitating. Princess! Oh shit. That's just hanging out on the ground there. Could this be the reason? Well, yeah, probably. Thing's horrible. Alright. What do we got? Can we silence it, maybe? Steal from it. It guarded. Let's armor break him. I got a mithril fork. Armor break. Let's scan it and see what it does. Knowledge is power. Let's get knowledge. Man, you're making everybody slow and shit. Comes the data. Oh, we didn't get any data. There was no data to get. A bone wrist. He is deliberately slowing everyone. Is anybody hurt? You're kind of hurt. We'll heal you. Devil's Kiss. Alright, that wasn't that bad. I don't know, he's probably got one more thing to steal. Let's try. No, he doesn't. Alright, let's dark side him. She went Super Saiyan, but she can't do anything about it. I guess just cure Steiner, in case this dark side hurts him real bad. Don't escape. We're finally here. I think the Gargan is tired too. Man, was I able to kill that? Did I mess up? I never knew such a place existed in Alexandria. Where are we? Let's keep moving. Is this really Alexandria? Well, it must be. How do we get out? Well, this way. Princess, let us make haste. Wait, Steiner. I know this place. Dr. Tot told me about this place. My ancestors built this place to keep enemies from invading. Dr. Tot also said, Princess, we can hear your stories later. The stale air cannot be good for us. And we gotta save Blank. Right, we need to hurry. Let's go, Steiner.
You! What kind of trick is this?
I didn't do anything. Don't blame me.
You really didn't do anything?
You don't believe me? Look, we missed our chance to escape.
Ugh.
They fell for it.
Fell for it, they did. Zorn! Thorn! I am Steiner, Captain of the Knights of Pluto. I have returned. Let us out at once. Too bad it is. You're all under arrest.
Zorn? Thorn? I've returned to Alexandria to speak with my mother. Take me to my mother.
Yes, we will take you to see Queen Braun, whether you like it or not. Capture Princess Garnet, Queen Braun said. Ordered us, she did.
Lies. What? Oh, okay. There we go. This is a very dramatic, long pause. Can you stand, Freya? It's nothing. Take it easy, okay? How about you, Vivi? Yeah, I'm alright. So what now, people? They said they were going to Clara. We have no choice. We must go to Clara, too. I knew you'd say that. You coming, Vivi? Do you think we'll learn more about those black mages if we go to Clara? Yeah, I'd say we'll learn a lot about them as long as we follow Braun and that Kuja guy. Then I'm with you.
Clara? Sound yummy. I go with you.
Oh, and what about the princess? Dagger? I'd never forget about her. She might not be here in Burmecia, but I know we'll find her soon. Well, let's move out. Some say it lies in the desert west of Burmecia, but I know not whether we can enter the town itself. Brighten up a little. We'll figure it out when we get there. Oh, Dagger, where could you be? Alright, we're back. Well, let's see how everybody's doing here. Alright, he's learned that. We're still working on that. Learned all of that. Working on that. Working on that. Alright, we got stuff to learn. Working on that. Nothing really there. Nothing really there. And we could teach him Jelly. Do you need to know Jelly, Vivi? I think he's fine. Alright, learning that. We do need to learn Antibody, maybe. And Bird Killer. I guess we do that. Equip. Alright, we're still good there. Oh, I forgot. We got 4 party people. Hold on. Okay, still learning High Tide. Oh, it continues to be learned. So we can equip that. That's great. Insomniac can be learned. Yeah, let's do that. And nothing there. More Jelly. It's another Insomniac. So we'll just stick with that. You think Jelly is good for the area ahead? Alright, we'll go ahead and learn it. Why not? I think we found it. Let's just check and see what else is in the area here. Man, look at these guys. This is quite a pair. Attack the lizard man. Go ahead and cast fire on the skeleton. Beat up the skeleton. Try and eat the lizard man. If that doesn't work, you can hit the lizard man.
Lizard Man does look like an action figure, that is true. Okay, it's still too strong. Ugh. Not that strong, Clara's Trump. The tempest subsides. By the gods. Come on, let's go while we can. Indeed, let us press on. Must hurry, must find yummy yummies. Oh, it's a pretty big tree. Pull the lever. Nice. Well done, Zidane. You did a great job. Alright, we got a Phoenix down. Received the ice staff. The ice staff. Alright, just a lot of sand and stuff. Can we climb this? This looks like a climbable. Okay, nothing really doing there. My guess is we're gonna be back through here at some point. Call it a weird, wild hunch. Ether. Examine the hole. So dark, I can't see a thing. Put a hand in the hole. Uh-oh, sand's coming. We got sand, everybody. Terrible sand. Whoa, sand. Oh. Let's keep checking this out before we, leave. Is there anything else cool in here? No? Oh, apparently there's fights to be had in here. Oh, shit. Hit it in its core, I guess. Uh-oh. I got a high potion out of it. I don't suppose you can eat the core. What happens if we hit the sand golem? Because he's counterattacking everything every time we hit him.
Let's treat him like a Spider-Man villain. Let's cast sand on his body. Yeah, take that. I beat up your sand. Oh. Alright, we got him. Easy. No problem. Okay, a needle fork. A tent. There has to be some way to... Ah, nuts. We gotta get back, because there's a chest in that other room I want. I don't know how to get there, though. It's another one of these guys. Alright, I don't know. Cast Blizzard on the body. Jump. Attack. And attack. Oh, that did some damage. Why don't you use a high potion on Frey? Oh my goodness. Cook the core. Attack the core. Black magic. Oh no, I brought the body back. Alright, it's going down again. We got this. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to fight, but we got this. Easy peasy. Got it. Hello. Here's the letter. Thanks for delivering the mail from Atla. Kupo, strange people came into town and destroyed the entire place. What the heck is going on, Kupo? I don't want to see any more pointy hats. Monev should be careful too. Maybe you should move elsewhere. Things are terrible in Burmecia, Kupo. Are we gonna be okay here, Kupo? Alright, let's go ahead and use a tent, because everybody's kind of hurt right now. let's go this way first. Because treasure chest, flame staff. I'm still missing a treasure chest. I don't like that I'm missing it. Lots of ways to go in here. Desert boots. Mithril gloves. Pull the lever. Oh boy. A remedy. Oh, jeez. Hello. Oh, that's the way we came. Let's not do that. A mithril vest. Okay, well, it looks like there's a lot of ways, but it kind of feels like there's just sort of two. A potion. Let's go up this way first. You know what? Let's go the other way first. I second guessed. I thought I was going the wrong way, and then it felt like the right way. Alright, an elixir. Nice. Saying it was worth it. Uh-oh. Mash the A button. Mash A. Mash A. Well, I want the chest, though. I guess I don't get them. 900 gil. Mash the A button. I messed up again. Okay. Meh. I don't like that we left chests on the table here, but I don't know how else to get them right now. Alright, we can summon a chocobo. Oh man, this is gonna be a sand guy, isn't it? Oh no, it's a bird. Hello. Attack it. Steal from it. Attack it. Let's hit it with light thunder, because I want to eat it. Oh no, it ate me! It ate me! This isn't going well at all, actually. Ah, it's not weak enough! Now that did it. Okay, they're back. We got them. They're fine.
Might you be Lady Freya?
Indeed, I am.
We have awaited your coming, my lady.
How did you come to know my identity?
The King of Bermesia has requested that we guide you to him.
Long live the king. Take me to him immediately.
At once, my lady.
Zidane, I shall go see the king. Why not take this chance to rest?
Yeah, good idea. This way, my lady. What happens if you eat something that ate your friends? I mean, it's a situation. It's a bad situation, but not nearly as bad as the trip to the bathroom afterwards. Allow me to be your guide and show you our town. Sure. Please walk this way, sirs.
I go find yummy yummies by myself.
This is our source of water. I shall elaborate later on how we have water up so high here. Now for our next stop. And this is the liveliest part of our town. But there's no market today, so the usual crowd is gone. Let's move on. This tour kind of sucks, to be frank. Transitive property means you ate your own friends? Yeah, I think that is true. I think that's accurate. You made a choice to eat the bird that ate your friends. You knew what you were getting into. This windmill brings the blessings of water to our humble town. It uses the power of the sandstorm to pump water from the ground. Come, next I shall show you the observatory. The observatory is where the citizenry comes to relax. Here we observe our protector, the sandstorm, and here we pray to it. Next is the cathedral, the last stop on our tour. You guys gotta work on your tour. It's not really as exciting as it could be. The high priest who brings peace to our souls resides in the cathedral. The King of Bermesia and Lady Freya are meeting inside this building. It also houses the harp whose magic stone powers the sandstorm. Let us make our way back. And that concludes the tour. Thanks a lot. Maybe I should ask her to show me around again. Why do you want to be shown around again, Vivi? Oh. There's a big sandy hole over there. Probably be careful not to go into the hole. Hey, there was a phoenix pinion over here. Just letting you know.
This town got no yummy yummies anywhere. You can make famous Alexandrian dish Queen's Meal. You know have famous Southgate Bunt Cake?
Hey, I found ore on the ground here. Look! Pointy-headed devil! Don't come any closer. You demon, leave my family alone. Only a tiny fraction of us made it to Clara, damn it. I hope everyone who stayed in Bermesia is doing okay. The sandstorm that protects our town is powered by magic. To keep the storm in motion, we perform a sacred dance to the melody of a harp adorned with a magic stone. So what you're saying is you're a bunch of dancers. Well, why hasn't Final Fantasy XIV stolen this yet? I would also like them to steal the rat people. We need rat people. I have a few items, actually. Anointment. Cures trouble. I guess we can buy some. Yeah, it's like the Sand of Storms from Zelda. Mushroom! I never see this kind mushroom before. Kina's just becoming more and more Homestar Runner as I read more and more of their dialogue. I hope it edible. Where's the inn? We need to save. We need to get to the inn. I can't stand the sandstorm. It's too loud. Will we ever see Burmecia again? It's my first time away from home. Hey, I remember meeting you in Burmecia. If there's anything I can do, just ask me. Well, that seems pretty good. And, yeah, I guess we get one of those too. And we'll get one of those too. We got some of those. Those are all good. We got some of those. Some of those. Thunder gloves. Yeah, we should probably get that. Get two of those. Two of those. Get one of those. We got some of those already. Buy two of those. Just buy a bunch, really. I can't do a very good Strong Bad impression. I can do Homestar. That's no problem, but we have rooms for 100 gil. Would you like to stay? Sure. Why not? Let's get everybody rested. Let's talk to a Moogle. I found an ether. Magnet. There's a letter for Zidane. Oh, that's not the Moogle voice at all. From Ruby to Zidane. I decided to start a small theater, but I ain't had any luck finding actors. Do you know any good actors who are looking for work? Man, how I wish y'all were here. Come to think of it, you Tantalus guys look like a bunch of outlaws. Just kidding. Kupo, is she looking for actors? I want to become an actor. Alright, let's save. Alright, with that save, I think we are going to go ahead and call it a day. Go a little shorter today. We had a long episode yesterday. We're kind of hitting a new town. There's new gear to equip, abilities to figure out. A bunch of stuff I can probably do before we start again. This seems like a nice place to kick back and relax before the next leg of the journey starts. So, I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you for the subs, the follows, the bits, everything. If you're watching a VOD, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will catch you all next time. That'll be tomorrow, as a matter of fact. I'll see you then. Bye, everybody.